still Hustle Daily. What's up, Hustle Nation? We got another story time for y'all. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me as always, man. Some random girls lied to us after we got invited to another VIP table. So this might sound like a club story time. We about to get right into it. How many of y'all be out there at the club partying? Y'all let me know in the comments below. How many be at the club? I'm not really a clubber. I have been to the club a couple of times, but I'm not really a clubber like that. I actually did go to the club last week. Yeah. But you know, I ain't trying to buy no sections and all of that bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? But what y'all think? Smash that like button. Follow me on Instagram. Let's go.
Friend decided that we wanted to have a cheeky night out, so we headed to one of the clubs that we normally go to. It was a club that was quite popular. It's not around anymore, sadly. Night was random, so we literally got ready, had some pre-drinks and headed to the club. We'd been to the venue so many times. We knew the promoter who was looking after us. Come to the club and we landed at the table, and the promoter warned us and said it's quite a busy night. There's a rapper from America that's in the club. A lot of people are trying to get in, so basically just to have our wits about us. Super packed, it's super busy, so the table might be a bit more crowded than usual. There was a group of girls on the table that we were on, and they started talking to us. This isn't something that isn't normal. It happens a lot and it happens often. And asking us, how do we know the promoter? Have we been here before? This is their first time. They normally go to another said club, which was very popular at the time. The table's been super packed. We knew a couple of the bartenders there, so we was being pretty much looked after. But we realised that it was too cramped. The bar used to be like in the middle of the club, so you'd have to wait in the middle and kind of make your way towards getting a drink. We've walked around to a bit of the bar where we know that always kind of free and that people don't really realise. One of the girl bartenders there knew us also, so she saw us making our way towards this gap and basically got drinks prepared and gave them to us. She was also free, so it was a thing where she just done it quickly, gave it to us and was like, yeah, just go back, it's crowded, like you don't want to be here. We've taken the drinks and we've walked off. Where we was, there was a rope and there's another security guard that knows us. We're trying to walk through with these drinks in our hands, basically struggling. One wrong move and the drink's gonna get knocked out of our hands, as well as us being in heels. Basically what you could do is you could walk through VIP to get to the table that we was on anyway, and basically cut through the other VIPs round the back and walk. So he was like, yeah, come across the rope and you guys can make your way around. One of the other security guards have offered to walk us to the table. Also basically probably just to check that we don't jump on anyone else's table. It is what it is. We've gone with the security guard and he's walking us to our table, and as this has happened, we're going past the main table, which is where this said rapper was. This rapper's seen us and basically kind of like smiled and like put his drink up towards us and been saying something. We didn't know what was going on. We started laughing. We just wanted to get back to the table when we was like, we really shouldn't have left to get these two measly drinks and have to go through all of this just to get back to the table. The security guards dropped us off at the table that we was originally at. We're sitting down and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, a guy comes up to us and approaches us and asks us if we want to come and join the main table, which is obviously where said rapper was. It's like, oh, okay, so he's seen us walking past. That's probably what it is. You know how clubs are, they want to fill the tables out with girls. We already was thinking, no, we just set up shop back where we was, having to get up again, struggle through the crowd, go around the back, go through cutting VIP. It was just too much. It was too much. These girls have noticed in this said guy talking and obviously put two and two together. We didn't know who he was. We just thought it was a friend of said person. We're good where we are. Thank you like for the offer, but we're gonna stay here. When that guy's walked off, these girls have automatically straight away been to us like, who is that? What was he saying? Do you know him? Like, what's going on? So my friends basically told them the gist of what happened in like a short form, and they've been like, oh my god, like why didn't you go? You could have told us. We could have gone instead.
They was thirsty, boy. They was thirsty to get over there to that rapper.
And kind of gone on this kind of tone of like basically we left them out. Bearing in mind, we'd never met these girls a day in our lives. We don't know them. We've never met them before. Drinking their drinks, they're giving us kind of dirty looks, they're talking amongst themselves. Me and my friend are like, we're definitely not gonna do this, especially at this point. We was really trying our hardest to just be like, you know what, we came out for a night out, we probably chose the wrong night and we probably should have gone somewhere else, but we're gonna have a good time because we know these people here and we normally have a good time. They've started getting really antsy towards us, pushing their bags on us, pushing us when they're walking past to go to the toilet, grabbing the drinks, handing the drinks out amongst the girls, to a point where the promoter told them that you can't keep touching the drinks and you can't pour drinks for yourself. It's getting to a point where it's so packed that we're like, do we even want to stay here? The main artist is now performing, and they had a little stage where they would perform, and so it would be like a little balcony. The person's gone up and he started performing. Performance has wrapped up. The security that actually led us back to our table has come over to us, and said person is asking, because it's coming to the end of the night, do we want to go to the table to kind of end the night off, they're getting a few other people to go on the table, and because there's so much left over, they just thought they would invite people to the table. Because of how it's been on this table and the fact that it's just been really antsy, these girls have been stepping on our toes, doing all sorts. We was like, do you know what, let's just go over, like who cares, let's just go over. We've got about an hour and a half left. As we've got up, the security guard has helped my friend and kind of held her hand for her to get up. She was sitting on the back of the couch. So we were sitting on the back of the couch. Two of those said girls were sitting in front of us and the rest was surrounding us, kind of sitting on each side of us. The girls pulled my friend's arm and been like, where are you guys going? And my friends looked at her, basically ignored it. And I've looked and I've been like, sorry, what did you say? And bearing in mind the music is pumping, so we're in the club. We can't hardly hear anything. We can just make out barely what's being said. I'm linking my friend's hand now to go after her with her as she's getting up. And the girls basically grabbed my friend's ankle to a point where my friend slid and is kind of halfway on the bottom of the sofa and standing up, and I've kind of wobbled because obviously I was on her arm. We was trying to get out. I didn't know that she had grabbed my friend's ankle till after, and my friend let me know that she felt that this girl had grabbed her ankle, so I was basically dropping now at this point. So I'm holding on to her and I'm semi-dropping. The security guard manages to catch my friend doing Twister in the club. I thought that was going to get games out and start playing at this point. The security guard has put his torch on because he's basically saying like, did you drop anything? Is everything all right? The girl's then basically gone to grab me and say something like, where are you going? So I've basically pushed my arm off of her now because it's getting to a point where it's getting ridiculous and it's getting annoying. Security guards then asked us, is everything okay? And we've basically shunned it off. We don't want to make a big deal out of it. At least we're getting away from them. He's then taken us over to the table. We've been introduced to said person. He was actually very friendly and wasn't doing too much. If you need anything, talk to my guy. This is him, like da-da-da-da-da. He'll sort you out. The way that it was set up, it was more so that there was other girls in there as well. So those girls was talking to us and they were much more friendlier and much more just forthcoming. It ended up being that it was genuinely a decent night. The girls in there was really nice. The guys weren't doing too much. They really left us to our own devices. As we've looked out where the rope is and there's two security guards standing on each side, we've seen the girls from the previous table coming over and kind of walking through the crowd, tailing to come towards where we were. They've stopped, they've spoken to the security guard and said something in the security guard's ear. He's then looked over and looked at us and said something, and then they was there. He then came over to us. These girls are claiming that one of you took their bag, you've got something of theirs in your possession, all of this jargon. We couldn't believe it, and at this point the drinks had been flowing a bit more in a merry state than we was before. So we've gone to the side of the security guard and spoke to him and told him like what had happened as to why he even helped us when we was falling over, what was going on, because my friend had told me once we got to the table that the girl grabbed her ankle. The security guard's going over it. He's seen us pretty much more or less every time we've been at this place and knows that we don't get into no altercations. There's been no problems. For safety measures, we've basically had to go where first aid was with him and these girls. So as we're walking, he's taken us over there and then these girls have come up after, but they've separated us. They haven't put us together. My friend then starts shouting over to them like, what are you talking about? Who wants to take your bag? It starts getting to that kind of level. I'm trying to be cool, but also I'm feeling really, really annoyed because at the end of the day, we were just having a good time. From the moment of seeing these girls on this table, it's been nothing but problems. They're explaining that they had a purse, it's gone missing, they can't find it, and they were asking them basically, why do you think it's these two? They're saying it's because we left the table suspiciously, and then all of a sudden we're over in that VIP section. It looks like it's us. Can he go to the cameras? They need to find out this, they need to find that. Can we be searched? This is towards the end of the night, so after this, we know that we're done. We're going home. This is absolutely not happening. Lead promoter ends up coming out and he sees us and he's like, what is going on? We've explained to him what's going on. He's tried to be a mediator between the two and actually handle it fairly, not just because he knows us, but just to handle it fairly to get it over and done with and end this situation. They've ended up trying to look on the cameras. Now, it's not something I think that you can do easily, so they said that it's going to take a little bit of time and that they're going to see what they can do. I don't know what happened. One of the girls in the friendship group pulls the security to the side and we can see that she's talking to him and you can see that he's nodding and he's looking and he's saying something to her. Like, you can tell that there's some sort of agitation going on the way he's talking to her and she looks like she's like worried. When that's happened, he's come over to us and he's been like, you're good to go. Like, you can go. You guys have a nice night. Like, we'll see you again soon. Ignore all of this madness. Like, sorry about that. My friend's asking him what happened, what was said. And he's like, basically, don't worry about it. When we see each other next, I'll tell you in full. But long story short, the friend's come up to me and she's told me that the friends have hidden the purse within themselves and they was doing that basically to see if they could get onto the table that you guys were on. Basically what's happened. We was like, so thinking what? So we're just expected to leave it as that. They're going to accuse us of doing something. Basically try to set us up and then they just walk out like nothing happened and you've wasted our time. Being more grown at the time, we realised that it was a waste of time. We knew what they was doing. We saw what they was doing from when they approached us. It was really just insightful to see that they would go this far to try and execute a plan when I'm not being funny. Probably if you just ask somebody, you probably would have been able to get on the table, or you probably would have been able to maneuver around however you wanted to maneuver around. But instead you went after two girls on the table that you was with, that you've never met, you never come across for no apparent reason. I went to the far end of accusing them of stealing your purse just to get on a table. We got food, we went home, and we laughed about it. It was really annoying, and we really did have to hone in on ourselves and grab ourselves from being a way that we didn't need to be, or be accused of being the angry girls, etc, etc. I know it's so annoying to have to think that way, but that is honestly how we have to think sometimes in a lot of situations and scenarios that you're put in or forced in. So we was quite actually happy the fact that we didn't let it shake us or move us, and hopefully it wouldn't happen again. But life goes on, it's not that serious. So that's the time when the girls tried to say that we stole their purse at the club in order for them to get to a rapper's table that was performing that night at the club.
Them some thirsty ass hoes, boy. I ain't never seen something so thirsty in my life, damn near. But them, yo, I went to the I started going to the club like 2023. And I guess I've been to the club before that, but like first time getting a section with the homies was 2023. The section like $1,000, right? And it was ended up being like 200 a piece. And that was my first experience of having a section. And what I realized about that shit was turned out to be a good $200 too, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Your boy got goddamn, you know what I'm saying? That night was a blast. You feel me? When I came to the crib, it was a blast. You feel me? But hey, one thing I realized though was like, first of all, I will never say never, but I'm pretty sure like I wouldn't spend $200 to get a section ever again in my life. Now, even though that was a good $200, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, you feel me? But one thing I realized, it was just like, damn, so cuz I don't drink, right? So the one thing I realized was just like, damn, I can't drink, you know, like so basically like the girls just basically come in your section and drink all your shit. And some of them girls like really don't even be wanting to holler at you or to talk to a motherfucker or nothing, you know. So to me, I just looked at it like as a waste of money. So I'm like, damn, even though like I say, I did get lucky that night, you know what I'm saying? Real lucky, you know what I'm talking about? But I probably wouldn't do that shit again, you know, because I just realized like, you know, these girls just gonna come in here, drink your shit. They just trying to take pictures of themselves, put it on Snapchat, put it on Instagram, put it on TikTok, and that's all they trying to do. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to be seen. So I probably would never do that again. You know what I'm saying? We'll never say never, like I say, but I'm pretty sure I can do something else with $200. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't did that shit since 2023. You know what I'm saying? And I have been to the club after that, but. So that's just one thing I realized, and I probably wouldn't, like I say, do that shit again, because these girls right here was thirsty, but not all girls be thirsty, because I just realized, like, damn, they just came in here, drunk all our shit, and left, you know? Like, because you had, like, one group of girls come in, they ain't on shit, leave. Another group of girls come in, they ain't on shit, leave. Like, it was just like that, but, like I say, that night that I did pay that $200, that turned out to be a good $200. I ain't gonna flex to y'all, but y'all let me know what y'all think about these thirsty roasties right here, and hopefully, y'all not that thirsty out there. They was trying to get over there to them rappers, boy. They tried to get over there so bad. They was like, them girls stole our purse. We gotta go over there and see what's going on. Thirsty assholes. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rock with me. Y'all let me know she should have told us what rapper it was. Damn. Peace.